Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daria, and today's practice is a soft and sweet flow. A lot of the time in yoga, we're working with really strong shapes, and sometimes it can feel super like fitnessy or like we're striving to hit the shape and then we stay and we hold. Today's class is kind of the opposite of that. We'll be working with threading the lines between one posture into the next. So really fluid, seamless style of movement. This is a little bit of a unique sequence, a little bit of creative flow. So go with it. And whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll start today standing at the top of the mat. So make your way up to your feet. And we'll find ragdoll fold to begin. So feet are hips distance apart. Let your knees bend a lot so that your chest and your thighs can connect. Drop your head, let the back of your neck soften, and grab for opposite elbows. Begin simply by allowing the soles of your feet to soften into the earth underneath you. Become aware of all 10 toes. Press them down really firmly. And allow the space, the boundary between your physical body, between your skin on the soles of your feet and the mat beneath you to get blurrier so that it's like you're rooting down right into the earth beneath you. And now see how heavy you can make your torso. And let everything surrender forward, down, and longer. So the space stretches between all of your vertebrae. And allow this drop to be effortless. And now turn your awareness towards your breath. Deepening the breath and finding a soft and sweet quality to your inhales and your exhales. You can bring in Ujjayi breath if you like. And remember always to come back to open mouth exhales whenever you need them to clear and to reset. Take a big full inhale right here. Drink up the air from the soles of your feet all the way to the core of your pelvis. And take a big side drop even further into your fold. Root down firmly through all four corners of your feet. Begin to stretch your elbows over toward the right side of your mat. We'll revolve all the way up to stand, making a big circle with your elbows and the crown of your head, rising high, and then exhale, roll around to the right and drape your way all the way back forward. As you inhale, rise to stand, sweep your torso toward the right, then neutralize at the top. Exhale to roll back around forward. Now reverse the direction you're traveling. So elbows begin to the left, rise up high, standing tall. As you exhale, soften over to the right side of your mat and then fold forward. One more time like that, big sweeping circle over to the left. Lift it high and exhale as you dive back down. Root your fingertips down in front of your toes. Take an inhale for halfway lift. Stretch back through your inner thighs. Reach forward through the crown of your head. And then exhale again, fold belly to thighs. Inhale, root down into your right toes. Keep your fingertips rooted. Stretch your left toes long and back behind you for standing L. Try to get as long as possible, continuing with the length. Even once you feel like you've hit the shape, let it keep moving and growing. Good. And then exhale, bend both knees deeply. Cross your left knee to the outside of your right shin. Then lower the top of your left foot down and sink your left knee. Roll your left sitting bone to the earth. We're spinning to face the long edge of your mat, and then your right sitting bone will land. From here, stretch your right fingertips really long to the side. Reach up with your left fingertips and grow into a big side body stretch, expanding the space between all your ribs on your left side body. Gaze inside your left elbow crease, and then get softer into the shape. As you inhale, rise all the way back through center. This time, sprinkle your left fingertips down at the top of your mat. Root into your left palm. Press into your right foot and begin to glide your left foot back rolling onto the knife edge of it. Now, once you're here, lifted into this modified side plank, see if you can heel toe your right foot away from the top edge of your mat and roll onto the knife edge of that foot too. Then plug your right arm bone into your body, stretch forward through your right fingertips so your bicep and your ear come together. Inhale here, press away from the mat. Then as you exhale, keep solidly pressing down through your palm. Just begin to sink your outer left hip toward the earth. Sweep your right fingertips toward the back of your mat. Inhale, press your left big toe mound back. Sweep your hips high, right fingertips come forward. Exhale again, lower it back down. Outer left hip skims the mat. One more time. Big inhale, sweep up, stretch forward. And exhale, release your hips back down to the earth. Inhale, press it up. Keep your right fingertips floating up toward the sky this time. You can stay right here or begin to send more weight down into left palm and outer left foot. Pick up your right foot and step to high plank. Breathe. Press what's connected to the mat into it to lift your hips up and away 1 inch higher. And then wherever you are, revolve to high plank. So if your right foot was still forward, step it back to meet your left toes. From high plank, sink both knees down to the mat at the very same time. Inhale, curl your tailbone high, stretch your heart forward, cow pose. As you exhale, glide your hips back towards your heels, but keep stretching forward through your heart, press down through your palms. Inhale, round through all fours, hands and knees, cat. And exhale, glide all the way back to downward facing dog. Take a few moments here in this first downward facing dog of your practice. And allow your full body to feel really sweet. You can bring in little hip circles or sways. Swivel your heels to one side of the mat and then the other. Play with micro bending your knees and notice the effect this has on the length in your low back. Once you're finished playing and you found steadiness in your foundation in downward facing dog, take a big full inhale, sweep your left leg high, 3-legged down dog. Then stack left hip over right and bend your knee. You can stay here and take knee circles, mobilizing the hip joint. If you feel ready for it, go ahead and flip all the way into wild thing. Spin your right toes toward the back of your mat, left toes root behind you, and then pull up through your whole front body. Stretch your left fingertips to the top of your mat and let this feel joyful and open and airy. Inhale. Exhale, gather through your core. If you're in wild thing, revolve back to 3-legged down dog. Left leg lifts high. Exhale, low lunge. Glide your left foot through between your palms to the top of your mat. We'll roll right away into Skandasana. Both palms step inside your left foot. Swivel so you face the long edge of your mat. Bend deeply into your left leg. Right heel is rooted. Right toes flex up. From here, see if without using your hands, you can sink your butt all the way to the ground. If you need to use your hands, that's great too. And stay here. And breathe. If you're feeling a lot of sensation here, you can just stay here. You can also stay up in a more active Skandasana. That's an option. If you'd like to go in a bit deeper, take your right hand and grab for your left ankle. Then sweep your left fingertips all the way up and over. And they might just hover here, or you can grab for the outer edge of your right foot. Try to keep your left sitting bone magnetizing toward the earth. Keep both shoulder blades plugging into your body. Then pull on your hands to get some leverage to shine your heart up toward the sky. Inhale. Exhale, soften into the posture. Root down through your left foot, rise all the way back up using your core. From here, we'll just spin to face the back of our mats, rooting the left knee outside the left hip. So facing torso forward towards your right leg. Inhale here, elongate down through your sitting bones and stretch up through the crown of your head. Then exhale, bow your way forward over your right thigh. Try to let go of any preconceived notions you have of what this fold should look like or feel like. Really go inwardly and allow it to express however it is today. If you're feeling really tight in your right hamstring, you can slide a block under your knee to relieve some of that intensity. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. Last breath. Soften your face, soften your toes, soften your fingers. Begin to walk your fingertips all the way back in towards your hips. Draw your right foot in. We'll just roll through hands and knees, tabletop position, and then on an exhale, tuck your toes and glide back to downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward to the top of your mat. Exhale, travel there. Feet either together or hips distance apart, whatever feels good for you. Reach for opposite elbows, and we'll bring in those big, broad circles again, this time beginning to the right. So as you inhale, elbows sweep toward the right, rise to stand like Tadasana, but still grabbing for opposite elbows. Revolve toward the left and then bow forward. One more time in this direction. Inhale, feet firmly pressed down, crown of head stretches high. Exhale, fold. And we'll take it to the left first. Inhale, rise to stand. Use your feet to stabilize, and then exhale, folding all the way forward. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Pause at the bottom. Fingertips sprinkle down in front of toes. Inhale, stretch your spine out in a halfway lift. And then exhale, melt your heart toward your toes. Bow. Let your left toes become earthier. Root your fingertips and inhale to stretch your right leg long and back behind you. Standing L. Heart reaching away from your toes. Pull them in 2 opposite directions energetically. Good, and then bend both knees deeply. Right knee crosses to the outside of your left shin. Then root the top of your right foot and your knee slowly swiveling down to a seat. Left fingertips rainbow all the way up and over to the left side of your mat. Take a big side body stretch. Try to keep your left toes or your left foot connecting to the mat. If they're not totally down, that's okay. One more breath here, breathing between all your ribs. And then rise all the way back up high. Root your right palm down at the top of your mat. You can crawl your feet away a bit. Find where you're able to set up to lift into this modified side plank. So your left foot is forward, right foot back. Roll onto the knife edge of your right foot, and then maybe the knife edge of your left foot as well, if that's available. Stretch up and forward through your left fingertips. How buoyant can you be in your pelvis and your side body? Inhale here. Exhale, begin to sink outer right hip down toward the earth. Keep really engaged through your right fingertips. Inhale, rise high again. Imagine that you're going to take flight as you sweep fingertips overhead. And then exhale, soften everything back down toward the mat. One more just like that. Inhale, press through your right big toe mound. Reach forward through your left fingertips. How long can you grow? And exhale, last time, sink right hip down to skim the mat. Inhale, rise back up. Now we stay right here, breathing into the outer left hip, or challenge yourself to float back into side plank, stacking your left foot on top of your right. Gaze can be down towards your right palm, or challenge your balance and lift your gaze up towards your left fingertips. Press away from the mat, lift a bit higher. Good. Wherever you are, revolve your way back to high plank. If your left foot was forward, step it back. Both knees lower down to the mat. Inhale, cow. Front body softens, back body contracts. Then as you exhale with toes tucked, curl your hips back towards your heels, reach forward with your heart. Inhale, round forward, hands and knees, spine lifting up toward the sky. Exhale, we glide back, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here to settle. Breathe into your full back body. And breathe into your low back, middle back, upper back. Shoulder blades pull away from each other. And then breathe down your hamstrings, your calves, your Achilles tendons, into your heels and the very bottoms of your feet. Left foot roots down. Inhale, right leg sweeps high, then stack your hip, open it up, bend your knee. Take your knee circles or begin to flip into wild thing. See how slowly and in a controlled way you can step your right toes back behind you and then stretch your fingertips toward the top of your mat. Support your heart with your left shoulder blade. Pull it underneath you. And lift your low belly all the way up to your chin. Good. Revolve back to a three-legged down dog. So wherever you've been, find your way there. Right leg high. And then exhale, low lunge. Right knee, right foot steps to the top of your mat. We'll swivel to Skandasana. Both palms step to the inside of your right foot. Swivel on your left toes and your right heel. And then begin to sink down into your right low side lunge. Left toes flex towards your face. You can stay here, palms meeting at your heart, and just breathe. If your right heel is popping up away from the mat, that's okay. You can also slide a blanket or a book or something under that heel for a bit more support. And then lower your butt all the way down to the mat if you're able. Stay right here and breathe. Or begin to stretch your left hand to the outside of your right ankle. Root it firmly there. Then sweep right fingertips high. Tuck your shoulder to the inside of your left leg. And stretch your side body. Maybe reaching for the outer edge of left foot with right hand. And allow yourself to soften wherever you are. Let go of anything you're holding unnecessarily. And really feel your full body occupying this position. One more breath. As you inhale, use your core. If you folded to the side, rise all the way up high. From here, if you stayed in Skandasana, find your way to where your glutes can meet the mat, and we'll swivel to face the top edge, the original top of the mat. Inner left or inner right knee comes down in line with your hips. You can readjust, find a position that feels cozy for you. Lift your heart high. And then on an exhale, fold your way forward. No matter how deeply you've folded forward, see if you can relax the back of your neck. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears and soften wider away from each other. Allow your head to be heavy. Forehead softens. And invite your breath to clear tension from the space that needs it the most. Two more rounds here. And press down into your hands and your fingertips to crawl all the way back into the midline. Draw your left heel in. We'll make our way to hands and knees, tabletop. From here, root into your right palm. Sweep your left fingertips underneath and then lower to your left shoulder and left cheek for thread the needle. You can press into your right palm to deepen into the thoracic spine twist, or begin to stretch all the way forward and feel more compression into the front of your left shoulder. Let the tops of your feet root down even more into the earth, and let your hip creases soften. Close your eyes if that feels okay. And explore with the breath. Explore the sensations, the thoughts, any emotions that are arising. And so exploring without judgment allows us to become more aware, more embodied in our own bodies. Begin to walk your right palm back under your shoulder if it's not there. And we'll just gently press back up to tabletop. This time, right arm sweeps underneath your left, right shoulder comes down, right cheek to the mat. Stay here with left palm planting, twist in the thoracic spine, or begin to reach all the way forward with your left arm. If your left arm's reaching forward, imagine that your heart could burrow into the very core of the earth. And allow yourself either to be still, if that's serving you, just be still and breathe, or you can bring in little micro adjustments or little movements, little sways into your hips. Maybe crawl your fingertips a bit more forward, or if you're twisting, turn your heart more toward the sky. Draw your left palm back under your left shoulder. If it's not there, press the mat away from you and rise all the way up to tabletop. From here, bring your toes together to touch behind you. Let your knees fall open wide and stretch back into child's pose. You can soften either your chest and your chin or your forehead to the mat. And then imagine that your body is made of sand and that you've been poured into a body of water. And you're slowly trickling down to the bottom, giving into gravity, settling. And breathe more deeply into your low belly, let it soften. Let your low back soften. And notice if this allows you to draw your hips closer towards your heels. Begin to walk your fingertips slowly back in, pressing all the way up till you're sitting on your knees. Draw your knees together. Hips are shifted back onto your heels. Bring the backs of your palms to the tops of your thighs and close your eyes. Soften your shoulders down your back. Take a big full inhale breath, breathing from your low belly all the way to the tops of your lungs. Open mouth, exhale, release. And begin to notice any shifts in how you feel now compared to when you began this practice. Sometimes moving in these more creative, unexpected ways allows some mind opening to happen or new possibilities to seem more in reach. Draw your thumbs to meet in front of your heart, palms come together. Take an inhale into the very core of your body, wherever you experience that, whether it be low belly, heart, third eye, maybe the crown of your head. And take a big exhale, share it. And gently blink your eyes open. And we'll close our practice here for today. If you'd like to take Shavasana from here, please do so. Lie down on your back, stretch out really wide. Let everything get softer and more untangled from here. But I hope that you enjoyed this practice. I hope that you were able to find a soft and sweet flow with the movement. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel down below because that really supports me. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next practice. Bye.